to unmute yourself. If you have questions, please submit them in the chat box. Put questions and then you submit your question. If you have resources, please submit those into the chat box. Put resources and then your resources. Next slide. All right, so we started out this session with the instrumental to This Is How We Do It, because this is how we do it. We are OST. We are bringing our OST culture to the access centers. We want you to be creative. We want you to set the tone. We want you to engage our youth, provide academic enrichment. That means assisting the youth with whatever they need. As far as homework is concerned, any type of issues that they're having, they may be feeling a little bit down in the morning when they come in, definitely assist the youth. Keep our youth encouraged, promote life skills and self-regulation, engage with parents. We want you to be OST in the access centers because this is how we do it. Next slide.
Yeah, so what is classroom management and access center? It is creating a positive environment. So we understand that, you can't control the specific activities that the youth are doing every moment because they're doing online classes. But you can provide that environment that helps everybody to just be happy and collective so that we can get the task done for them. So you're going to be providing assistance, communicating with youth, families, and staff, being creative, having structure, celebrating success, any success, little things, bringing your charger every day, and then teamwork.
All right, so go ahead, you got it, Luz.
Yep. So we're gonna start this off with a little different. So we're gonna look at views from kind of a child's perspective. So a day in a student's life, OST Access Center. Meet Derek. Everyone say hi to Derek. Hi, Derek.
What's up, Derek?
Fourth grader that attends Apple Tree Community Center, OST Center.
Okay. Arrival. Every morning when Derek arrives at the community center, he is greeted outside by Miss Tiffany, who asks safety questions and checks his temperature. Once Derek enters the building, he washes his hands and heads to his desk to take all his materials out of his book bag. Next slide. All right, still in arrival, when Derek enters his cohort, there are positive reinforcements everywhere. Derek walks in and he has a desk with his name on it. There's transition dots all over the room to show him where to line up at or where to stand at for social distances. There are behavior charts, star charts all over the place of different tasks that he has completed. OST staff to monitor and assist, so someone with a mask on and pretty much coming up to Derek and just saying, good morning, how are you? What do you have today? Are you excited about learning today? Community agreements, something that happens in the beginning where they all kind of sat together in a circle, social distancing circle, and they came up with agreements for the environment. And hand station, hand sanitizer and cleaning station, all positive reinforcements in that environment.
Awesome. So morning meetings. A daily morning meeting is an opportunity for students to build caring relationships with their peers and group leaders, to actively participate and practice social and emotional skills throughout the activity. So we have a morning meeting handbook that we'll pass out later on in the chat box we'll put. But morning meetings are very important. So the example here, so Derek, once Derek is settled and all his peers have arrived, he participates in a 5-minute morning meeting. After the chant with his peers, the question of the day was, what would you rather have, a pet dragon or a magic carpet? Morning meetings are very important. Something as simple as a question gets the brain flowing, those juices moving so that they can get on with the rest of the day.
Absolutely, and also a moment that you could just check in with the kids to see where they're at, how they're feeling, to see what's going on with them in the beginning of the day, and hopefully you can encourage them to be in a better mood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So why morning meetings? It builds relationships. Like I mentioned, the youth are doing their online schooling, but you're going to have some time, and it's really important to show them that this is a safe place. And there's nothing better than talking with them and showing that you care and are interested in some of their opinions and their emotions. So some check-ins could be really fast, just as, come in, tell me what weather you're feeling today. Oh, I'm feeling rainy today. Oh, well, why are you feeling rainy? Oh, I'm feeling sunshine and rainbows, or something interesting, crisp fall leaves on the ground.
Right.
A quick check-in. So it supports their academics, getting them ready. It boosts their confidence because they know someone cares about them, and increases their motivation, teaches SEL skills, and builds a sense of community. We're all in this together. The youth know that this is a different environment. They might be meeting you from different programming. So this little 5 minutes chat helps a lot, and it helps to create a safe space.
All right, so in the chat box, I see a question about how do we make morning meetings happen if the kids arrive at staggered times. So we will address that. We have a question section at the end, so we will address that and give you some support in that. So we will definitely come back to that, Dominic. Okay, we see you. All right. Okay, so learning time, practicing the 3 C's, creating a conducive classroom. I'm gonna say that again, creating a conducive classroom. Derek is now logging into his Chromebook and put his headphones on to engage in learning with his teacher and peers virtually. Derek has gym for first period, so there is a space available for him in the hallway to complete his morning fitness challenge. Derek does not want to disturb the other youth who has math and reading for first period. So that comes with accommodating your kids and whatever it is that they're doing. If first period is gym, then making sure that you have a location where that kid can go and can do their fitness and workout with his other kids that's doing math or reading that need a quiet space. So that's just learning the kid's schedule and being able to accommodate. Again, creating a conducive classroom.
Yes. So I'm gonna move this down. All right, so learning time. So organizing learning times. So once you get an idea of what youth schedules are, you can either group them up by grade if that works better, maybe by school, similar schedules, and understanding their youth schedules, you can kind of create an access center schedule. So maybe you're not able to do a full 5 minutes, but maybe there's 3 minutes that you guys all have that can overlap, that you can do a quick check-in with everybody. Setting expectations, so creating those routines. Routines go a long way in helping kids just to get in the flow and they're happy. Create access center agreements with the youth and provide ways to engage.
Right.
Nonverbal cues. So this is an example to help you guys with your classroom. A lot of the kids are going to be asking for support. Support can be very different, from technology to can you reread this, or something else that has happened in the classroom. So in order to help you guys not have everyone saying, Mr., Miss, I think that maybe doing something along the lines of flags, right? So 3 flags here, we got red, white, and yellow. So red flag, you can hold it up and be like, I got a red, they don't have to say anything, nonverbal. So they have a red flag, you see the red flag moving around, you're gonna know that they need assistance with technology. So maybe you have a staff who's comfortable with assisting with technology. So now they're gonna be looking, scanning the room, walking around to see if there's any little red flags going up. Your white flag will symbolize maybe understanding how to read something, just simple daily, help with work details. And then yellow flag could be something else of your choice. Maybe it's a bathroom break. So using the color flags can help you identify and organize the youth support that is needed, and then also help the staff identify their strengths. So like I said, one staff can be looking for the red flag while one's eyeballing the white and yellow.
I think we had somebody raise their hand. I feel like it's somebody from Education Work. So if you want to unmute yourself really quickly to ask your question, please do.
Well, actually, they can. If they put it in the if they put it in the chat box, we want to keep it moving, and then once we get to the end, we can come back and discuss. So if you could put it in the chat box, that would be awesome.
Go on to the next slide.
Thanks, Naomi. Okay, so we're still on learning time. Youth managing their own behaviors. You can support children to learn to manage their behaviors when you view children as capable and competent and approach situations from a strength-based perspective. This is when you create breathing or peace corners. You give kids some fidget toys that can sit on their desk or in a corner, and once they feel themselves getting a little bit fidgety, they can go and get a fidget toy just to help them stay on task, but be doing something with their hands, like doodling or having a fidget toy. Common techniques, counting from 10 to 1 when they're upset, or maybe taking a walk in the hallway real quick. Personalized space, personalizing masks, and personalizing their desks. Individual checklists, that means pretty much learning the kids' schedule and creating a task list for the kids so they can keep their own tasks. And by the end of the day, they'll be looking and saying, oh my goodness, I did all of this today, or I'm halfway through, I only have this, this, and this to do. Kids like to know exactly what it is they have to do throughout the day. Consistent encouragement, great job, I see you doing it, awesome, air high five. Weekly goal and incentives. The weekly goal could pretty much be if last week the kid didn't bring their charger, but this week, all week they brought their charger to their laptop and they did a great job. Small victories goes a long way. Good job, Derek, you brought your charger this week. I noticed it and awesome, air high five.
Managing youth to have an individualized education plan, so an IEP. So there's 4 steps that we have. There's more steps. Each organization is going to create their own. But this is just like some bare minimum steps that you guys can go through. So talk to parents and guardians about the youth learning process. So if you're able to talk with parents to see what's their learning process, maybe it's just not all IEPs require a lot of assistance. Maybe it's just helping them read or get into some item, logging in. And making reasonable accommodations. Helping the youth could be as simple as just reading the directions again for them, just clarifying something, whatever you feel works for your site. Document the youth successes and stresses. And then you're gonna report those to parents. So, go back real quick. You really wanna document the parents' stresses, because remember, we're not here to be their teachers, we're here to assist. So if you notice that around 1 o'clock, it's getting a little antsy, that's a math class, you're gonna report that to mom and dad or parent or guardian and just let them know, I'm noticing at 1 o'clock, we're getting a little antsy. Maybe we really highly suggest that you go and reach out to the teacher. And then that's when the parents go. Your job is just to let the parents know what's going on, and then their job is to reach out to the teachers. Managing disengaged youth. So again, some 5 basic steps. Talk with the youth, ask them how you can help. So, if you see them, be like, what's wrong? How can I help you? What seems to be the problem? And then empowering the youth to take a moment to stretch at their desk. They're sitting down for quite some time. A simple stretch helps. If they're able to walk real quick down the hall, just walk down, walk back, go back to the desk. Provide encouragement, like we mentioned quite a lot through weekly incentives. Good job. You've been doing really great with all your classes. And again, just like you do with all the other youth, you're gonna document their successes and stresses. You're gonna say, great, you're doing really good, you're awesome. And then some stresses, hey mom, I noticed again that maybe around 10:30, this class is particularly difficult for him. We're only able to help him with such and such. You should go reach out to the staff member, the teachers in the school.
Okay, now it's time for meal time. Use time for socially distanced brain breaks. Incorporate movement, encourage conversation, and share outs. Play some light music. If possible, take it outside. All right, meal time, which I call social snack time. It is lunchtime, and Derek looks forward to the fun deli brain breaks. Each day, it's a surprise. Yesterday, Derek participated in a movement game where he won a prize. Today, Miss Tiffany has written a few riddles on the board. Okay, so y'all hear my loud background, I apologize, that's outside. All right, so now we're gonna take a brain break because we've been going through slides and I'm sure you guys wanna just take a little bit of a break. Okay, so we're gonna do some riddles. Luz, you want to take the first riddle?
Yep. So, take off my skin. I won't cry, but you will. What am I? You can go ahead and write your guesses, answers in the chat box. Ah, yes, you guys are smart. Onion.
Wow. They must have used these riddles before.
Yeah.
All right. Next riddle. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I? Nope, not time. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
Yep, we got it.
Yep.
Footsteps.
Okay, awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. All right, so communication. Effective communication is essential in anything, well-run classroom, program, or organization. So you really want to create agreements with youth and family. So agreements for the classroom and agreements with the family on how things are going to be handled, whether that be behavioral issue, educational issues. Again, you are not the teacher, you are just assisting in the communication between the youth and the access center and the families. It is the family's responsibility to communicate with the schools. Take time each day with each youth and family as they enter or leave. So you really want to try to talk with the family as they're coming in and dropping off or as they're leaving. And this could be just, you know, simple conversations or just letting mom know, great job today. He was perfect, great, awesome. Or just letting the family know if there's a concern.
Okay, before you move on, in the chat box, let's just create a little bit of interaction. In the chat box, I would like you guys to put some community agreements that you believe that you would come up with your kids. Some of the things that maybe the kids might suggest or you suggest for community agreements in your environment. Just wanna get an idea. I'm gonna give you guys maybe a minute. Let's see some of the community agreements that you or your kids would come up with. Respect all participants, awesome. Come on, let's go, bring them in. Respect one another, good job. Place trash in the corner of your desk. Special air handshakes, I like that. What else y'all got? No physical contact, 6 feet distance. Use inside voice when friends are learning, I like that. Mm-hmm. Be courteous, be respectful. Only use your computer. Mask it up, I like that, mask it up. Do not draw on others' papers or bags. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Respect personal space. Learn it, tell it. I like that. Okay. Thank you guys for participating. We can keep it moving now. All right, dismissal. Every afternoon when Derek's parents arrive at the community center to pick up Derek, they're greeted outside by Miss Tiffany, who has a quick chat on Derek's day. Good afternoon. Derek had a great day today. He was on task and showed us a new dance during our morning meeting. Or, good afternoon. Derek had a tough time today during his math class. We took a quick walk down the hall to clear his mind. However, I suggest that you reach out to his teacher for assistance. As Derek leaves for the day, Ms. Tiffany makes sure to give him an air high five for all of his hard work. Dismissal is very important. Checking in with the parents is very important. So the parents can be able to see where their youth is at as far as their learning process. Encourage the parent to go home and check with him. Check and find out what homework he had or what his day actually looked like. That's important. Luz?
Yeah, that's very important. This is going to be the time where you set that communication with families and those expectations.
All right, we can keep it moving. All right, so what if scenarios? Okay, we're going to give you some scenarios, the ways you can get feedback. is you can respond in the chat box, or you can use your raise your hand icon, and once called on, you can unmute. Naomi, how do they use the raise your hand in reactions?
Yes. So there are a couple options in the reactions. You can either do like I'm a video myself. You can do a thumbs up, or there's like a little high five type of situation. So either one.
Okay, sounds good. We can get started.
All right, so what happens if the youth are struggling with their assignments? So we have listed a few ideas that we have, but we really want to hear from you all. Is there anything that you think that we're missing from ours, or something you worked well at your access center?
I think Alberta had her hand up.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say sometimes it can be a technical problem, or it might be they need to spell a word or something, but it depends on the situation, I think, sometimes.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, it definitely does depend on the situation.
Any response in the chat box?
Not seeing much, but we'll just go over, we'll give everyone a few minutes. So we're suggesting that you ask the youth what they're struggling with, take notes again on those struggles, assist them. So if it's something simple as, reading real quick the directions, just because they just need some redirecting, and then encourage the family again to reach out if you're unable to help them, because remember, you're not going to assist with their full assignments.
Okay. All right. Hopefully we can get some interaction in the chat box with this one. What happens if the youth becomes upset with online learning or distracting others?
Yes.
We give you some suggestions, but please, in the chat box, you can give us your suggestions. What if? How are you going to handle it?
Patience. Yes, that's a good one.
Have them take a walk.
Yep. Stretch. Yep, that helps me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ask if they're hungry.
That's a good one.
Yeah, most of the time that's what it is.
Unmute. I was just about to say that. I feel like a lot of times, especially now, we need to think about taking care of our kids' physical needs because it affects their mental needs. So if a child is hungry or thirsty, just figuring all of that stuff out is really important.
Yes, have them express themselves. Yes, that is very important. Communication. I hear you, I see you, I feel you, and then you guys can work it out.
Okay, remind them that you're there for them regardless of the situation. Awesome. Try to be observant of any triggers, yes. So it doesn't happen again. Or you try to prevent it from happening again. Sometimes simply turn up their volume helps, okay? You guys are the experts. You're the ones that actually operate in these access centers. So thank you for the suggestions. Okay, I think we can move on to the next one.
All right, so what happens if the youth are struggling to keep their mask on? Again, we have some suggestions that we think could work. Let us know what's working out for you guys.
Keep your germs to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Use wearing.
Example.
Us wearing our mask being an example. Try a different type of mask. We ask them to tell us why we all need to wear our masks. Nonverbal gestures, hand over mouth, then motion at their mask. Okay, I like that. Allow them to take breathing breaks outdoor. Be the example. That's capitalized too. Awesome. Praise student. Cute masks they may have, and it'll look good wearing it.
Oh, a tally board for wearing your mask. That's a good one. I like that idea.
Yes. Mask decor day. I like that.
Spider-Man wears one. That's a good one. That gets me.
That's what I do with my 2-year-old. So he has the masks that he wears that are little tiny ones, but we tell him that they're his superhero masks. So he loves wearing his Elmo, and his Big Bird mask.
Okay, thank you guys so much. Okay, what happens if the youth has finished their assignment and has a break? We didn't give you suggestions this time because we know that you guys are going to suggest some great ideas. Please put them in the chat box. Free time, activity. Provide individual enrichment bundles or projects. I like that. Who is that? I cannot pronounce his name. I'm not even going to try, but I would like that person to elaborate on that a little bit more. So unmute yourself. Who said provide individual enrichment bundles or project? If you don't mind elaborating a little bit more on that.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Rex. Sorry for my birth government name. Playing trick on you. Yeah, we're in the process of this doing it now. Since we saw last week, a lot of kids have sporadic breaks, whether they're short or long. So we just had a staff meeting this morning, and we thought it'd be a great idea to create individual enrichment bundles or packets or projects. So considering using even simple like Ziploc bags and putting art supplies or using a folder to house worksheets, or if you have any manipulative, so we have like letter magnets here. So we have kids practicing their sight words with the letter magnets that we have. We also, whiteboards are very cheap at Dollar Tree, so you can also use those for kids to do kind of small group projects. And yeah, and then any board games we have, just make sure they're easy to disinfect at the end of the day.
Thank you.
And I suggest that maybe you get some little gloves, some little, maybe plastic gloves or something they can put on when they're using those different things just for safety and cleaning reasons. But that's a very good idea. Any physical movement is good after sitting all day. Awesome. Socially distanced basketball games outdoor. 15-minute breaks, puzzles, word games, bathroom snacks, water, and tabletop games. Set a timer and allow individual gym time. Okay. Good stuff. Very good stuff. Thank you. This is how we do this. We do this. All right. So now it's time for questions. We're going to go back to the question that was at the top at the very beginning. I believe that someone asked a question about if the kids have different schedules, how do we do morning meetings? And Luz, do you have a response to that? I have one as well.
Yeah, you can go ahead first. Okay,
so I just feel like maybe you can have a do now activity up on a whiteboard, so when the kids come in, they know exactly what it is that they have to do, and that's kind of like their morning meeting. So the OST monitor can check in with that kid and do like just an individual morning meeting with them. If it's more than one kid that's available for 5 minutes, their schedule matches a little bit, then they can participate. But you just have to accommodate your kids. But definitely when they come in, have some type of check-in with them, if it's individual or if it's a group thing.
Exactly, Tamara. So exactly what I was thinking. It doesn't have to be long. You know, something as simple as like, hey, how's the weather? If you were weather right now, would you feel? So you could say rainy. Those little simple things can be quick. Just conversations. You might not be able to do it with all the group, but at least you're able to kind of touch base with just a few kids.
Okay.
That individual youth at that time.
And even if when they come in, they got to get right on. Maybe some kids might come in and they're a little bit later and they got to get right on as soon as they come in. As soon as they have their little break time, you check in with them. That's your time. You can check in and see where they're at with things. You have to be able to accommodate the kids. All right, is there any other questions? You can put them in the chat box or you can raise your hand, and then once we call on you, you can unmute yourself. Any other questions? This is the time.
I think Alberta had a question up top.
I did see something that she had. Alberta?
Yeah, I was just wondering, because I was told that we can't, sometimes it feels almost like we're kind of in between, because we're told we are there to assist, you know, but then we're told, well, we can't, like if somebody asked us, one of the kids asked us, well, you spell this or do that, we're not allowed to do that part of it. So sometimes it's kind of dicey. I mean, I'm talking from my personal experience. It feels a little dicey because I don't know, like, how far, you know what I'm saying? Like, should I answer that question? Of course, I would love to. I have an educational background. I would love to do that. I would love to answer that. But we were told that we are not to really do that. So therefore, it's kind of a fine line. You know what I mean? Because it's a little confusing, I think, for the staff that we're told different things. We're hearing different things. So maybe you could clarify on that.
Let me ask you this. Now, when you say answer questions, are you talking about answer questions that the teachers are giving the kids, like they have a math problem or something like that, and the kid is having an issue with it? And
right.
You're talking about answering a math problem or helping them with the math
like
problem?
If a kid says, how do you spell cat? We're not really allowed to, I was told we're not allowed to do that. We're not allowed to say, oh, well, CAT, because I guess then if they get it wrong or something, I don't understand what the theory is on that, but maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe you could clarify that.
Well, if a kid came to me and said, or was there, I was an access center monitor, and a kid said, Miss T, could you tell me how to spell cat? I would have them sound it out. You know, figure it out for themselves, but suggest some things for them to do. You know, like
so you're saying that we are allowed. Okay. That was my question.
Yeah, it is a fine line. So it's going to be very depending on each ask. So it's kind of like you got to analyze the ask of that youth at that moment. So definitely, of course, you know, you don't want to go above and beyond. If they're talking to the teacher and the teacher's asking them a question and that kid decides, let me ask you so I can get the answer real quick, because they'll try. So, you know, you're like, oh, well, you're in class and I'm backing up. I guess it's more so you're trying to help them when the teacher is giving them that independent work, right? So, and helping them is very fine. So like Samaya said, helping them is assisting them and helping themselves.
Right.
So, all right, sweetheart, you know, here's how to pronounce it out. If it's a word you don't know, you refer them to maybe the Google dictionary, like those kind of things, helping them to solve it themselves. That's going to be what everything is. How can I help you solve it yourself?
Right.
Now, I wasn't aware if we were allowed to even do that. That was the question, not how to do it. It's just basically whether we were allowed or not. You get what I'm saying? Because we're kind of waiting in the wings. We're kind of waiting in the wings, and we don't really want to go overbound. You know, if someone's doing, say, like you said, Tamaya, is it Tamaya?
Tamaya, yes.
Tamaya, like you said, you don't really want to step on their toes if they're running the classroom. So that was the question that, yeah, you definitely answered it, because like I said, we were getting a couple different messages, like to do and not to do, we were told. So we're kind of waiting in the wings, sort of.
You want to look at things from the teacher perspective as well. You know,
I have an educational background, so I know how to do it, but my question wasn't that. My question was whether we were permitted or not was the question. So because we were told to assist. Do you get what I'm saying?
Understood. But what I'm saying to you is that looking at it from a teacher perspective, you wouldn't necessarily want someone, you have your classroom of kids, you wouldn't want someone to step in and help a kid out with something. So when we look at it from a teacher's perspective, then we say, okay, well, maybe during independent time, if the kid asks, we can assist. If the kid have a math problem that they're having an issue with, maybe we can give them some manipulatives or something like that to be able to count during independent time, but not actually answering the questions for them. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Assisting will be in two ways: helping them help themselves somehow by providing, you know, how Tamaya said, manipulatives for those things, and then also letting mom know that they had a problem.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks.
And then they can go ahead and reach out to the teacher.
Absolutely. Okay, there was another question in the chat box. What happens if the OST is short-staffed? Okay. I don't know how to answer that.
Agency question, so.
Say it again.
That's a agency. Each agency will have their own thing, so I'm not exactly sure if you want to touch base, Terrence, if you want to touch base with us on a separate level, but each agency will probably have their own protocols for short staffing.
Absolutely.
Anything.
Everyone has a protocol, have a floater or someone available to be there if it's short staffed, because ratio is very important.
Yes.
All right, any more questions?
If we skipped your question, apologize. Can you ask it again?
Okay.
So Terrence, you're with a PPR site? Okay.
PPR site.
We can, I would say, you know, document that, talk to your facility supervisor, and hey, Tustin, and also talk to your program liaison or reach out to Megan. Definitely reach out to Megan.
Okay. Can you have a conversation with OST cohort to know what assistance is acceptable? Okay. All right. Any more questions? We don't have any more questions. Someone about to say something?
Oh no, I was just saying thanks, Ted, for the feedback. That's helpful.
Okay. All right. So if anyone doesn't have any more questions, what I would like you to do now is everything that we discussed, I would like you to tell us in the chat box one thing that you're going to take back from this training that you had. Hopefully you're going to take back a couple of things, but give us at least one thing that you're going to take back to the Access Center from this training. I hope this training was helpful to you guys. If you put that in the chat box, that would be awesome. Okay, so we have enrichment badges. We have communication is important. Ideas on morning meetings, as well as ideas for free time. Those nonverbal signs, go lose. Communication tools, color flags, go lose. The implementation of teamwork, using the color flags, morning meeting, and we will make sure we get that link in the chat box. Naomi, if you could put that in the chat box, that would be awesome.
Yes. Teamwork, teamwork, teamwork.
Yes. All right, the link is in the chat box. And
I will also email that to everybody because I know the chat disappears once we're out of here. So I'll email that along with our YouTube page for any staff people who were not able to get in today.
All right.
Lisa, good one. Helping children figure out how to formulate questions. Yes, help them figure out how to ask the teacher how to help them.
signage, especially in the gym, free time usage and planning their time, conducive classrooms, flags and bags, be patient, communicate, allow others to communicate needs. Hope you guys enjoy learning about Derek's day. That kid is awesome. All right, guys, thank you for sharing out. Naomi, if you want to go to the last slide.
I do want to share that on Teachers Pay Teachers, there's a lot of free signage that you guys can find that, you know, for mask wearing, for logging into the computers and stuff. You can just go on there and then laminate it and then post it in your classrooms.
Right. Okay, so today we did housekeeping. We did an overview. We are OST. We discussed a day in the life at an OST Tech Center. We had discussion scenarios and we did questions and answers. Thank you so much for coming to the training. My name is Tamaya.
And I'm Liz.
And we just appreciate you. Thank you. This is how we do it. We want to make sure.
Thank you so much for attending.
Yes, thank you.
And for making history happen.
Right. And I'm going to play my song because this is how we do it. We are OST.
Shaggy, I'm so glad to see your face. Hey.
Thank you. Have a great day. Nice seeing you all again. Great seeing you, Aisha. The numbers are slowly going down.